Why do rising powers and established states clash? Imagine a world where peace is not just the absence of conflict, but a delicate balance upheld by an unspoken order. I am talking about a powerful idea in international relations called power transition theory, an insight into why some nations clash while others coexist peacefully, especially when the global balance of power is shifting. The big question here is, when does competition turn into confrontation? Let us understand and answer all of your questions and your doubts regarding power transition theory. First introduced by Kenneth Organski back in 1958, this theory helps us make sense of those tense moments in history when a rising power inches closer to the strength of an established dominant state. We can understand the heart of this theory through this question: why does power parity breed unrest? So, unlike traditional views that suggest an even balance of power keeps peace, Organski proposed something quite different. He argued that peace tends to hold when there is a clear hierarchy with a leading nation that dominates and sets the rules. Trouble arises when a challenger grows and approaches that dominant position, especially if it is unhappy with the status quo. That dissatisfaction combined with rising strength creates a powder keg, which is a barrel of gunpowder ready to blow anytime. Now, another important question: how is the world structured according to power transition theory? And what is this hierarchy that Organski talks about? We can understand this by knowing that the international system in this view is like ladder made of nations that have power parity between them. The ladder is differentiated as 1. The dominant nation, the top power with unmatched influence, writing the rules of the global game. 2. Great powers, strong players with regional sway, capable of shaping outcomes beyond their borders. Middle powers, moderate influencers, often stabilizing their regions. Small powers, those with limited reach, typically aligning with bigger states for protection and benefit. It is said when a gray power starts climbing and nearly reaches the dominant nation, the stability of this whole system can be shaken, setting the stage for rivalry or even war. Power transition theory identifies two key ingredients that raise the risk of war. Which are these two ingredients? First, power parity. When the challenger's capabilities come close to matching the dominant power. B. Dissatisfaction. When the rising power wants to change the rules that the dominant state currently enforces. Put these together and you have a dangerous moment. The challenger considers reshaping or overturning the world order, and the dominant power might strike first, feeling threatened. It's a tense standoff with history repeating itself over and over again. Historically, you will see this pattern of power struggle unfolding time and again. The Peloponnesian War, in which Sparta felt the rise of Athens as an existential threat, and the result was devastating war that reshaped ancient Greece. Also, World War I, where Germany's rapid rise challenged Britain's dominance, leading to the deadliest conflicts in history. If we fast forward today, this historical lens helps us to understand the growing tensions between China and the United States. As China's economic and military power surges, many wonder if we are heading towards another historic clash or if there is a way to change the script known as US-China war. But power transition theory is not without its critics. Some see it as too deterministic, as if war is unavoidable when powers shift. Others say it focuses too much on military and economic might, overlooking the roles of diplomacy, global institutions, and cultural ties that can help a smooth over transition. However, modern scholars have started to include factors like economic interdependence, the power of international organizations, and internal stability of nations, which can all influence whether a rising power challenges the status quo peacefully or violently. So, why does this theory matter? As its core, power transition theory offers a valuable framework for understanding the cycles of peace and conflict that have shaped our world. By recognizing the signs of a rising nation nearing parity and its appetite for change, we gain tools to anticipate potential flashpoints. More importantly, it reminds us that history does not have to repeat itself. With awareness and careful diplomacy, established powers and challengers alike can work towards peaceful transitions, keeping the world more stable and hopeful for the future. In the ever-shifting dance of global power, understanding these dynamics is not just an academic exercise. It is a vital part of how we build a more peaceful tomorrow.